Sun on this new work and school week. Heat and humidity on the rise today. I'll show you how long it lasts and how your Mother's Day forecast is shaping up.
13 WMAC Morning starts now. Good morning. Happy Monday. It is May 8th at 6:30. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Caitlin Heck here with Wanya Reese and meteorologist Alex Forbes.
Oh man, it looks like it's going to be a warm yet beautiful day, Alex.
It was, and I tell you what, the folks in Hancock County, their day got started early this morning. An earthquake struck at 2:29 this morning. This was about 2 miles west of Sparta. We got a couple calls here into the newsroom of a loud boom and minor shaking in and around Hancock County. Of course, this earthquake was centered not too far away from Lake Oconee and Lake Sinclair, and these earthquakes are not terribly uncommon in this region of Georgia. However, they don't happen too frequently, say once every few months or so, and this morning was one of those with a magnitude 2.3. All right, let's take a live look over downtown Macon. We've got overcast skies for the most part at this hour. Temperatures down into the 60s, 69 the current number, the dew point at 64, so it's a fairly muggy morning across central Georgia. 65 in Warner Robins, 66 in Cochran, 66 in Milledgeville, 67 in Roberta, and 64 down in Rochelle. The radar picture not entirely quiet. We did see a shower or two in and around Jasper and Putnam counties, and in fact one more now in Hancock County, but a lot more up to the north, up near Metro Atlanta on the north side of Interstate 20. Those are going to slide into South Carolina, I'm thinking, but what you see back here in Alabama could be making its way towards central Georgia later this afternoon. I've got an hour by hour look at future view and how the heat and humidity is shaping up for the week ahead in just a moment.
Thank you, Alex. This morning, a man is in critical condition after getting shot in the head while driving in Macon.
The Bibb County Sheriff's Office says a shooting happened just after 8:30 last night at the intersection of Bloomfield Road at Chambers Road. Coroner Leon Jones says the bullet actually pierced the man's skull but did not hit his brain. Callers told 13 WMAZ a car sat in the middle of the street while investigators collected evidence of the scene. The sheriff's office says they're still investigating what led up to the shooting. So far, no arrests have been made. Anyone with information about this shooting should reach out to the Macon Regional Crime Stoppers. That number, it's 1-877-68-CRIME. That number again for you at the bottom of your screen, 1-877-68-CRIME.
Well, a man's recovering after being hurt in a shooting in Macon over the weekend. Bibb Sheriff's Office says they got a call around 11:15 yesterday morning about a person shot. Deputies found a man shot in the stomach around Burton and Napier Avenues. They say it appears the man should be okay. The Sheriff's Office says they're still investigating what led to the shooting and where the shooting actually happened. We
now know the name of the woman who died in Macon while pushing her shopping cart across the street. Coroner Leon Jones says 82-year-old Janet Towles was hit just after 12:30 Sunday morning. It happened at the intersection of Shirling Drive and Pine Hill Drive in East Macon. Jones says that Towles was known to push her shopping cart around the Shirling Drive area for years. Deputies say the driver did return to the scene and is cooperating with investigators. Towles' death marks Macon's 7th pedestrian death this year.
Well, a man was shot in Fort Valley as police were trying to break up a party at a club. They say it happened around 11 Saturday night on the 100 block of East Main Street. They say someone fired shots as officers were there on the scene. The man went to the hospital. Police so far have not released his condition, but if you have any information, you can call Fort Valley Police. That number is 478-825-3383. Again, 478-825-3383.
The Bibb County Sheriff's Office is still looking for the man they say shot and killed a woman last Friday. Purple balloons were released at the Green Meadows Apartments complex in honor of 28-year-old Keneza Owens. Nearly 50 friends and neighbors from Green Meadows came to honor her life. People also wore purple to honor victims of domestic violence like Owens. Amber Barnes says they want to show that as a community, they come together in tragedy. They also want to spread love to her 7-year-old daughter that she left behind. One of Owens' friends say they're demanding a better response time from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office on domestic dispute calls. Barnes says it took deputies 3 hours to respond to the call on Friday.
We're all out here. We're all standing out here for a cause. We want the police to come and help us in a timely manner, not when they feel like it or when they feel that they finally want to answer the call. But no, when we call, we need y'all to come out here.
Again, the Sheriff's Office is still looking for 23-year-old Trayvon Walker. Keneza's friends have created a GoFundMe for funeral arrangements and to support her daughter. You can find the link on our website. That's at 13WMAZ.com.
Well, the trial continues this morning for a Jones County doctor accused of prescribing opioids that killed 2 patients. Dr. Thomas Sachi was arrested and charged in 2018, accused of illegally prescribing drugs and money laundering. A jury was selected last Tuesday, and the trial officially started in Columbus last Wednesday. Today will be day 4 of testimony. Last week, the jury heard from an opioid expert, the GBI's head of investigations, and the mother of one of Sachi's alleged victims. They also got to see autopsy records, prescriptions, and other medical records for patients. Sachi argues he believed he was treating his patients properly. He faces a possible life sentence.
Well, apartments and more apartments. That's what's on the agenda for Macon-Bibb County Planning and Zoning today.
One of them on the agenda, whether to convert a hotel off Riverside Drive into apartments. The developer says their 3 buildings were built back in 1984. Right now, the hotel has 70 rooms, but the developer is asking to convert them into 95 apartments. All would be 1-bedroom apartments, according to their proposal.
Another developer that's a nonprofit affiliate of the Macon Housing Authority wants to build 60 more apartments in East Macon on Clinton Road. Like its name says, Coliseum View Apartments would be across the street from the Macon Coliseum. This would be in the space where the old Bibb Mill once stood before it burnt in March of last year. According to the proposal, the 4-story building will include 60 affordable housing units with both 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom apartment plans. The proposal also includes a letter from Mayor Lester Miller to the developer. Miller writes in the letter that the county plans to build a parking deck for residents at the apartment complex. Last September, Bibb commissioners moved forward with a plan to buy the more than 21 acres of land. The county said then they wanted to turn it around by investing $14 million into buying the site off of Coliseum Drive and placing a development that would include new hotel, condos, and apartments.
Now, Planning and Zoning meets this afternoon at 1:30 at Terminal Station. Well, if you drive by the Macon Mall and Eisenhower Parkway, you can see all that construction underway right now.
Yeah, I just saw it over the weekend, but tomorrow Macon-Bibb County Commissioners are set to get an inside look on the progress that Mayor Lester Miller calls impressive. Mayor Miller tells 13 WMAZ county leaders will go inside the amphitheater for the first time. They'll be able to walk the stage and actually sit in the suites. Then they'll walk next door to the mall to tour the new completed courtrooms and the Board of Elections office.
And Miller says they'll also see a demo of what the new offices will look like for the Middle Georgia Regional Commission, a library, and Planning and Zoning. It all starts at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Earlier in the day, commissioners will also tour a facility right behind the courthouse downtown on Walnut Street. The county bought the space about a year ago and moved some offices to the building over the last several months.
That includes the tax assessor's office, the Economic and Community Development Department, Small Business Affairs, Land Bank Authority, and more. Well, as Warner Robins wants to become a live, work, play community, they have ideas on how they can expand green space and activity. Warner Robins leaders have hopes of one day expanding the Wellston Trail through their park and greenway concept. The city has several options for expansion along the Wellston Trail, like extending it from Quarter Road to Watson Boulevard, connecting to Wellston Road. The least expensive option, extending the trail outside of Fountain Park from Kimberly Road to Moody Road. Part of the sidewalk is already paved starting at Lakeshore Drive. Paving the rest will add more accessibility and give people more to view on their walk.
Right now it's 2 miles, 1 mile from the other entrance and 1 mile back. So I think if it's expanded for 3 to 5 miles, that would be great.
The third option for the extension would be to extend the trail from Wellston Park to Center Park in Centerville.
Well, Monroe County Fire Department is now using drones to save lives. Get a close look at how the tech actually works. Plus,
on Monday, we focus on mental health. This week, hear what you need to know about distress tolerance. Great story TJ has for us a little bit later on. But right now, the time is now 6:39 here on this beautiful Monday morning. I mean, this week is really off to quite the start. We walked outside, it's warm. We had a earthquake in one of our counties. I mean, it's Mondaying.
I know, I don't want to know what the rest of the week is going to hold at this point.
That's enough. We don't need anything else.
We're good.
Everybody chill. We're good here on this Monday morning. Hey, I'll tell you what, though, we've got a fairly nice sunrise across central Georgia as we are rolling up on sunrise officially here in the next 2 to 3 minutes. Looking live here over downtown. We've got temperatures in the 60s this morning, 69 in Macon, 65 in Warner Robins. By May standards, this is warmer than we should be. 63 in Dublin, 64 in Perry, and 66 in Milledgeville this morning. Pretty much everybody in central Georgia in the 60s, ranging from 61 in Eastman to about 69 in Macon and Gordon at this hour. But you're going to walk outside, you're going to notice the humidity. Also, it is very muggy outside across central Georgia this morning. In fact, Wanya said earlier he had to walk back in and walk back out to make sure he was feeling it correctly. Yes, it is starting to feel like summer here in the beginning of May. So dry right now for the most part in most of central Georgia. The only exception for that is going to be up here into Hancock County there on the other side of Lake St. Clair with a scattered shower. And then more rain once you get your way into northern Georgia. That's sliding into South Carolina, though. A storm this morning, we'll say northern Fulton, Forsyth counties. That's moving into South Carolina as well. But what you see back into Alabama, these scattered showers towards Birmingham, those could find their way into central Georgia before all is said and done later this morning. So we're going to be looking at scattered showers this afternoon. Temperatures into the 80s very quickly. It's going to skyrocket today, the temperature that is, with scattered showers still sticking around by 5 p.m., drying out later on tonight. Temperatures not cooling off all that much once again, only into the upper 60s. Then for tomorrow, this is where things begin to change. So into the 80s very quickly once again. Then we're going to watch a disturbance move in from the north that's going to bring scattered showers, in fact, maybe even widespread at times, through the area tomorrow, late afternoon into the evening hours. Still looking at them hanging around by about 7 p.m., continuing to move down towards the south before we dry out for Wednesday morning. Temperatures a bit cooler into the low 60s across the area and not quite as warm through the afternoon, only into the mid 80s or so as opposed to closer to 90. This unsettled pattern continuing through the end of the week. There's Thursday on into Friday. A 10% chance of rain both days, including for Saturday, as temperatures begin to warm back up. We're going to call it hot beginning on Saturday, and that's going to stick around through Mother's Day as well, with temperatures, high temperatures that is, in the 90s. So humid today and tomorrow. We will get a brief break from the humidity by the time we get to the middle part of the week, but you can see we slowly work our way back into the humid range by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. So going to be watching out for that here in central Georgia. Hour by hour today, we are going to waste no time warming up into the 70s very quickly, 80s by the noon hour, all the way to a high temperature right around 87. That's scattered stuff going to be out there, the showers and storms. Sunrise here officially in the next minute or so with that 20% chance of rain above average temperatures. That's going to last here into the remainder of the week as well. 90 tomorrow, mid 80s for Wednesday and Thursday, but 90s making a comeback in time for the weekend. 90 for Saturday, 92 and humid for Mother's Day on Sunday.